Hello guys and welcome back to the channel. Today a new video related to Falange Arancione, my Italian team. It will be the recap of season 87 that helped me to share with you nice output about my project. Mainly because I'm reaching the peak, therefore my players are becoming stronger every season and I have fun every week putting them in the field. Their skill are reaching the peak and also their salary. They are really expensive and I'm handling thanks to a good starting budget, but I will show you the economics. For to start, please follow the channel and now we can start. Let's go. And here we are with a layout that you should recognize. I'm using this kind of format with the national team packs and I thought that was interesting, use it also with my club to show you a real example. So, 12 season, right now with the season 87, that is the recap that I'm doing today, I am in the 11th season, so I'm near the peak. A quick recap. First season, this is Trangoni, my main player that started with me at day one in 2021. So first season, just focus on the experience, no matter the performance. Thanks to me, with league matches and cup matches, he reached 5 experience at 21 years old. After that, thanks to the under 21 of San Marino, he was 9 in experience at 22 years old. And to be able to see him play, I trained him at 12 playmaking, 15 winger when he was 21, and I increased the stamina share at 18% to reach 8 to support the national team of San Marino in under 21. When he reached 22, he was not able to play anymore, so I decreased the stamina share at 10%, focusing just in the training speed. Now, what I can say still, I reached 18 winger. I decided to do one season of defending to do it, and reaching 9 defending, that was enough for a winger. After that, just playmaking. I'm doing playmaking from three seasons, because as I told also in the inner midfielder pack, I wanted to finish defending. I played just in one season with 5 defenders, and after that I was playing just 3-5-2, 2-5-3 and 4-5-1. And here, output that I can share with you is that it's not true that you will have fun just when you reach the peak at 29 years old. You can have fun also in the middle of the cycle, because if you are in the right league for the age of your core players, you can have fun, because the skill in the middle of the cycle will be good, so you can win the right leagues. So I won, for example, the League 7 with the Consolation Cup, I won the League 6, I won the League 4, the League 5, and now this season I will try to win the League 4. My players are still not completed yet, but still are competitive for the league in which I am. Now, the last season I trained anyway at 10%, because I wanted to complete as soon as possible the skill of playmaking of my core players. At the beginning of the season, considering that I was training at 10%, so the stamina was not good versus the opponent, and considering the fact that the skill of playmaking was not so huge versus compared to the level of my opponents, at the beginning it was not easy competing League 4, but in the middle of the league, of the season, with the level up average of all the my core players, the level of midfield was better, and also I bought new players around them, and so I was competitive. Why? Because I wanted to, firstly, keep the position in League 4, secondly, I wanted to be ready this season to be competitive, to trying to reach the Series 3, because I know that next season I will rise the stamina in a proper way. This season, what I did, considering that 28 years old are referring to Trangoni, but I have younger prospect with the range of my core player as 27, 28. Therefore, I want to push still a little bit the younger player, and I don't want to rise the stamina too early. Therefore, to support anyway some national teams that still they want already to call the player, I increased the stamina share at 50% the last week of the previous season with set pieces to increase more the stamina. that was more or less 7.5. It's not 8, but anyway, it's better than nothing. Now I keep the stamina share at 15% for the whole season to keep 7.4. It's not enough for a national team because they need 8. From the next season I will do it. For this season, the current one, this is a trade-off because really my players still are not, they are 27, 28, so it's not the right moment to boost at the maximum, but I want to support the national team because they are calling my player, they are reducing the salary of my players, they are giving experience, so I want to support them, and this is my way. A good trade-off, but I will follow them because next season my player will be 28, 29, so I'm near the peak and I can increase the stamina even more to reach 8 for my club and for the national team. So this more or less is the main overview that I wanted to share. Now, let's see other KPIs. Firstly, the salary, because as I was mentioning, my players are becoming really strong, and you can see from the stats because I reached record for my main team because I reached 400 stats, and now I'm near the 500. That is really a record for me. So the last season I reached in the last match 470 stats. I'm really happy of that. But let's have a look at the salary. I'm paying 600k euro weekly to pay these amazing players. So it's a problem, the salary. I have to say I had a good starting budget, and in this season I'm losing money, but I'm trying to do season trading. I'm trying to use the money in the reserve and to wait when my player will be older and the salary will be reduced. And also I hope always that they will play with their whole national team to have a cut reduction. Now I show you what happened. These are the economics. If you look, I reached more or less the peak in the previous 2 seasons. I was around 100 million the total team value. That means the cash plus the team value, so the value of the players. In the last 2 seasons I reached also 110 millions, even 115 millions. This season I lost 20 million in total, but let's have a look in the reality, in terms of money, what does it mean? Firstly, the main loss is due to the team value drop. That means that if you look at the transfer compare of the players, some of them, considering that they are becoming older, they reduced the value. And I had just for that 17 million of loss. And I lost 3 million of cash just. Now, a little detail. Due to the fact that I have a huge salary and I'm not able to compensate thanks to the sponsor, thanks to the income of the stadium, that is really a big stadium. But what is the problem? That in Italy, that is a big country, we have a lot of series, so the League 4 is not giving to me the same income of a League 2 of a smaller country. And I have to say, my team is even stronger like a team in Series 2 of a smaller country, because I have one of them, and my second team is now less competitive than this one. I'm not able to do trading. I am a user that is not able to do. Even before, right now, I cannot, because I'm maybe you know, I'm doing a lot of stuff in national team, etc. So I cannot focus also in the trading. Therefore, I'm trying to do some season trading, but right now with the playmaking cycle is always the same story. With the winger cycle, with defending cycle, I was able to do profit, but with playmaking, I'm just completing some player that at the end, the only thing that I'm able to do is not lose money. So it's just moving the money from the reserve to players that are liquid, that if I sell, I found already a buyer, and so I have cash, but I'm not able to do the profit. So at the end, if I look just at the balance without the transfers, I lost 4 million in one season. If I consider the transfers with the season trading and all the movement that I did to improve my team, I did 3 million of income. Therefore, at the end, the loss, the poor loss is 1 million this season. But why you see that I lost 20 million? Because if I have a look at the red curve I lost 7 million of team value. That is something that you need to monitor, because today if you sell the player you can be able to do this income, but it's not totally sure that you will do it. And I will show you a real example. The example is with Bomber Collar, because the transfer market of him when I sold him was 10 million. At the end I sold him at 8 million. Was not a problem because I bought him at 7 million, therefore I didn't lose money. But I was not able to do profit at the end, so I moved the money. I was able to keep this money liquid, therefore I was not in the reserve, but I was not able to do profit, and I lost 2 million of team value. What I did at the end, let's see why I changed it, because I like really a lot the Wolf Diaz. Let's see, the more or less same age, different country. This was already a prospect. I thought that he had a really chance to play for his own national team, so this opportunity for experience even more, because already he was 9 versus 6, and I'm sure that he will gain a lot of experience during the next years. Also, let's see the skills. He was 18, Bomber Collar was 17. He has less passing versus Bomber Collar, but I will train passing at the end, so I preferred to have someone that was with winger, more completed that the Bomber Collar that was just with 6, because I won't train any more winger, and was with a little bit more of playmaking, so more potential, more ability, more experience, more chance to play for the national team. At the end I paid him 2 million more, but I think this is my strategy. These are my 5 core players, and I want my PNF, my powerful striker, really strong. So for me it's worthy paid this guy 2 million more than Bomber Collar. Other comment, the wage. I was paying more or less 1 million by season Bomber Collar. I will pay him 1 million and a half, and even more, because I will train him in playmaking, and so means even more salary. But also Bomber Collar had the same problem. The difference is that Diaz is already playing with the national team, and each time he is playing is reducing by 30k euro weekly the salary. So I'm not saying that I'm paying at the end the same amount of money Diaz in terms of salary versus Bomber Collar, but the difference won't be so huge, and for me the performance, the delta performance will be important. So this was my point of view. What do you think? You prefer the Wolf Diaz, or was better keep Collar and the money? Let me know. And here you can see what I was saying to you before. The training. Why I'm seeing a better performance? Because you can see already. I did average 1 skill up each core player. So the level of playmaking now is starting to be really interesting in the defender, because anyway supporting the midfield, in the wingers that are not playing both of them in the winger spot due to training reason, but anyway also in the midfield they are giving their support. Trentin, the inner midfielder, is becoming perfect in the midfield, and also the striker Powerful is really supporting the midfield. And consider that excluding Diaz and maybe Trentin, I have a huge loyalty. I have so means that Trangoni in reality is 17 playmaking and 19 winger. So I see I'm not doing so much at the end. I just trained them, and right now I'm paying them a lot. But versus the opponents, also if I have 10% stamina share, this, and also if they are playing with a nice player, 32 years old, with huge stamina, blah blah blah, I have the skill really huge. So at the end, the values in the field are competitive. And I show you, these are the performance. So this season, 87, the last season, sorry, I arrived in the second position. Was a really competitive league. That means that the first team, Zaba, was in another level, he won, and that's it. But the other teams at the beginning mainly were really near with the same level, so was quite competitive. At the end, you can see from the points. A comment was Ursa Meyer, that was really a nice team, but was so unlucky that at the end lost so many matches without any reason. But anyway, the competition was really tough, and you can see from the stats, because Zaba, in the left we have the average values. Zaba was the first one, far away from the others. Ursa Meyer was also him was nice, but was so unlucky. The other were more or less similar. There was a bot. The second, Niguardello, was not so competitive, but from position 6 to 3, we were really near each other. And one concept that I would like to share is that at the end, as I told you, in the middle of the season, when my player did the level up and I bought other player, the level of my team was even stronger. And you can see from the stats, because at the end, I reached the level of the Zaba that already won, and that's it. But I was with the best midfield of the season in terms of ratings. The maximum ratings that I did was the best one. In defense I was quite okay, and in the attack I was quite okay. So it means that I was equilibrated, and I was reaching a good level of midfield that supported me to have the control of the matches. So this was more or less the main scenario, in a quick way to explain to you. But this concept helped me to understand what I needed to improve in my team, and for this reason I bought players around my core players. For example, I bought a better goalkeeper, etc, etc, etc. Senior, older, I needed older, because also I was paying less salary compared to the skill that he had. For this reason also the stamina share now is starting to be important. So the 15% stamina share support and the 15% boost that I did at the end of the season supported me to give some stamina to these senior guys that at least are with 6 stamina. So I hope really I'm wait, not this season, but the next one, to increase the stamina share, to keep also the performance in a proper way of the senior player in my team. And now, let's see this season. So let's compare these stats versus the first 2 matches of season 88 in Italy. And what happened? That if I should see the average of the first 2, my team is in the top. If we look at Rocca, Brutto Lupo, that are the team that were similar to me in the previous season, they are more or less with the same average values. Therefore, my team is starting to be stronger than them. Because if you see the max stats, I already reached in peak the value of stats that I reached in the last of the season in, I think, no mods, because I was worried to do in the play out. Therefore, this is really important. I would like to suggest you to focus in the long term. Or you are really good to do trading, so you are able to gain profit and money. If you are able to do that, you can do a different kind of strategy. But if you are not able to do a good trading, and you are able to wait a little bit more with a long-term plan, at the end, your team, in the long term, will be really, really strong, reaching some values in the field that you were not used to have. Because if you focus in the mid-term, and you want to be competitive each season without training in the proper way the players, at the end, you'll be stuck in the middle of the season in the League 5 or 4, I don't know, or 6 in Italy. Maybe in other country you will be in Series 3 and maybe 2. But when you arrive at the top series, that for a smaller country will be the first one, and for a bigger country like Italy will be the Series 3, 2 and 1, you won't have the money and the stats of the skills of the player to compete with users that or they did a better plan than you, or they are good trader and they have more money than you, and they will switch, they will change the player in a easy way than you. So this more or less is what I can share with you today with my team. So I'm near the peak. This season I would like to do really a good performance. I try to win. I don't know if I will be able or not, but I will try to do really good matches. I will try to win a lot of I hope to have the fan, the supporter really happy to gain money during the home matches in the stadium. I really would like to be in the first position to gain money with the reward, because I really need money to pay my big strong players. Also in the cup, I'm trying to go ahead more round possible to gain more money thanks to the cup matches. And let's see, now a little bit of stamina is increased, so the performance will be better also in the latest minutes. And let's see, so this is what I can share today. Really, I hope that I can give you some output for your experience, for your clubs. Thank you for watching the video. See you in the next video. Ciao, ciao.